physical therapy is that, we have a big separation, sometimes between what we consider psychological and physical, issues. But, I can tell you this at 100% that every single person that's in physical pain or that's having some type of physical issue is dealing with some type of psychological problem. I was talking about this on this podcast that I did a couple of weeks ago. The guy's a jiu-jitsu guy. And, in grappling sports, particularly, you need your whole body to do, whatever you're trying to do to be successful, in grappling, right? Just to be able to compete. And, people will continue to, train through injuries. And that's typically what gets them, more injured. I still remember the first time I came in to a jiu-jitsu session, and a guy had his arm tucked in his gi with his gi pulled over in it because his arm was injured. He was holding his arm to his side like this, basically, grappling with one arm. And at this time I was a PT, and I'm going, oh yeah, you probably shouldn't be doing that. But at the same time, I got it, right? I understood, why they were doing that. But in reality, when you get an injury like that, it really lowers your confidence, right? You know that you are now vulnerable in something where you want to feel strong and confident and like successful again, because you've been doing all of the right things. An injury or pain, whether it's, psychological or physical in terms of the injury or pain, will ultimately lower your confidence. And, it really makes you feel really, really vulnerable. Now, the big point here also is that when we have physical injuries, a lot of times we don't address the psychological side very well. And like I've talked about, we're going to get more into self-efficacy here as we go, even on this slide. That's the thing, especially as practitioners in the, the wellness and fitness and performance and physical therapy, rehabilitation fields. We're really trying to help improve somebody's self-efficacy. I always say that we should really be the best at improving somebody's self-efficacy, because that's the real functional transfer, right? That's the real transfer of our training, is to feel like we're a better version of ourselves and that we have a better ability to set goals and achieve them, which is basically what self-efficacy is, right? It's coming back over here to these bullet points on the right side. Self-efficacy is really our belief in our ability to perform when we're trying to set a goal, right? And our ability to perform to achieve that goal, right? And self-efficacy only really comes from repeated goal setting and achievement, right? So again, success can lead to self-efficacy by, doing the process over and over again. But real self-efficacy comes from, real achievement, right? And, we can also get some level of the self-efficacy, with the other experiences, primarily what we would call a vicarious experience. So, if I see somebody doing something before I'm going to do it, I go, oh, they did it. Well, I can do that too. Right. So you can also borrow self-efficacy from other people, but the further that you go away from real achievement, the more delusional it becomes, because you need that real achievement and that real experience to have that real confidence in your ability to perform, right? Until you've actually done the performance, right, and taken the steps and taking the action, right, you don't really know if your efforts are going to be successful or not. At the same time, that's part of the process. We don't always know. This is a very faith-based process that if we keep moving forward and we keep setting goals and we keep working our process, that we're going to get further ahead and hopefully get closer to achieving our goals, right? So that the last two bullet points on the right is that we can get some level of confidence or some level of self-efficacy. And sometimes you don't have all the answers. So you have to kind of fall back onto these. You have to make a decision. You have to make a choice. And you may have to go with word of mouth. Like, what did my buddy Andrew tell me about this situation? Or, what did Chrissy tell me when it came to, this vegan situation? I got to try this. I think that I can accomplish this based upon what Chrissy told me. What did the expert, say about this situation? Right? If we have to be able to rely on experts at some level, right? But we still have to take that expert opinion and kind of go back and go, okay, well, what did somebody else do with this? Okay, I'm going to look at them. They did this well. Let me compare that with what the expert was doing. And now I'm actually going to jump in and perform on my own to try to direct my goals towards this achievement, right? And then, the last bullet point is intuition, which is like this idea of gut feelings, which is the least reliable of all of your kind of things that are going to give you some type of level of confidence or, a sense of your ability to perform, right? the gut instinct. Some people really rely on that, but it can really get you in trouble because it's not very objective, right? So, one of the keys for us, right, is to align our self-efficacy with our real abilities, right? So it's kind of like, you end up, if you think that you can achieve more than you can, you end up with delusions of grandeur, right? If you end up, not, believing in yourself and you can really achieve more, it's kind of like these self-limiting beliefs and self-sabotage. So it's about trying to get your self-image aligned with your self-efficacy. What is your real ability, right? And ultimately, what is your real ability to choose these goals? Who do you believe that you are, or pursue these goals and achieve them? Excuse me. So who do you really believe that you are? And now what you have to realize is everything that we're doing in our daily life affects this, right? So sometimes it's really subconscious. You don't realize that you're setting yourself up for these self-limiting beliefs. There's a whole system, and Tony Robbins is real big into this. It's called Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And it really talks about this, it talks about our self-talk. Like, what are the things that we say to ourselves and we say to other people that reinforce this self-image that we're creating for ourselves? And is it the self-image that we really want? Are we creating the self-image of the successful, high achiever champion type of person? Not that that's what everybody has to be, but if you are looking to be that, are you reinforcing this, with your lifestyle and with your behaviors and everything that you're doing, again, with the way that you speak and how you talk to other people and how you talk to yourself? That all is going to determine whether your self-image is really well aligned with your self-efficacy, which is what really makes all the difference, which is really what makes the this idea of the peace of mind and self-satisfaction when you're giving this effort, is to have this alignment correctly aligned. Right? So this is really this you versus you.